Hi, I'm Tim. Welcome and thanks for logging on. If you love this watch, email me, tmosso@thewatchbox.com. That's my email address. It is in the description below. Your purchase and pricing email question line for buying this or any watch you see on any of our platforms. Please reach out to me directly. I am tmosso@thewatchbox.com for pricing. Since 2017, the Rolex Oyster Perpetual Sky-Dweller has featured a fully loomed dial, making this already practical watch even more so. Today, we talk about the Sky-Dweller, the 326938, 42 millimeters in diameter, in yellow gold. You can see that this watch measures a surprisingly thin 13.9 millimeters thick, from lug tip to lug tip, 50.2 millimeters, from end link to end link. Total horizontal distance across the wrist is 51.4 millimeters. Now we've got a 21 millimeter lug spacing. Taking the watch, thrown it on my 16 centimeter circumference wrist, you will find that it fits nicely. It's like a Big Datejust, both in terms of how it looks and how it wears. Let's close up this clasp right here, get a better sense. Obviously, when sized down, the watch will fit a broad range of wrists. Here, I'm pulling it a little bit tight to give you a sense of how it fits relative to the side of my wrist. My wrist is slightly outboard of the lug, so we're good to go on that front. I believe you could wear this watch on a wrist as small as 15 centimeters in circumference. You could see that the lugs are actually inboard of my wrist on either side, so good to go on that front. And in terms of the cuff shot, sloped bezel, surprisingly thin for what's inside the watch. It will fit underneath most dress cuffs and just about all jacket sleeves. Taking a look at the Oyster bracelet, this is the Rolex Oyster 3-link design. Now, this watch is full gold, and because we have solid end links, solid center links, a thick gauge gold clasp, it feels really massive, as redoubtable as a platinum watch from any other brand. Now, Rolex has its own foundry, it smelts its own gold alloys, and it makes its own cases, clasps, and bracelets. So what you're seeing and what you're feeling on the wrist is all Rolex. There's a little conforming end link to better mate the bracelet to the case. There's some taper down from the lugs towards the clasp. The faces of the links are polished. The shoulders are satinated. The center links are polished. We have removable links on both sides, fixed in place using screws. We have that thick gauge gold clasp, and you can see there's a beacon to hook. And we have this latching lift lock system where you actually have to lift it to unlock it. So it's not something you could just pull open by force or violence. There's a 5 millimeter easy link tool-free adjustment. You can hear the snick and the snap that allows you to take in or take out a little bit of slack. And then we have 3 pairs of divots drilled inside the clasp, so you can use your strap tool to dismount the spring bar and change the adjustment relative to the interior of the clasp. So you get 3 ways: easy link, the divots, and the removable links to size the watch. I mentioned it looks like a Big Datejust, and I mean that as a term of endearment. Truly, it does have a strong visual relation to Rolex's all-arounder. Here we have a case, 42 millimeters in diameter, so bigger than a Datejust, but with the same type of tapered lug profile, compound curved case, full polish, including lug hoods. We've got a twin lock crown in gold, because the Rolex crown signature always tells you what type of crown and what material. 2 symmetrical dots, that is a twin lock in gold. We've got a solid gold Rolex Oyster caseback, 100-meter water-resistant watch. Now on Rolex watches, when you see a fluted bezel, you know you're looking at precious metal. The bezel is actually part of the movement. It's called ring command. Using a system first pioneered on the Yachtmaster 2 of 2007, the 2012 to present Sky-Dweller family allows you to use this bezel to adjust the setting function. So you can see the crown, which is a screw down. In first position, you can use it for winding. Now the bezel is justified all the way clockwise. I pull the crown out, nothing happens. Turn it 1 click counterclockwise. Now I have the ability to advance the date forward or backwards. It is a fully bidirectional system. You can see that the annual calendar, which needs to be adjusted only once a year during the jump from February to March, it features a date and then it features a month indicator. So each hour represents a month, and it's fairly intuitive. So we have, for example, 6 would be June, 7 would be July, 8 would be August. So you're looking at August 5th. And because this is a bidirectional system, you can see this little red index, which represents the current month. It will jump around to accurately depict the current month. So just as the date is bidirectionally settable, so is the month. But you will note, I'm not actually setting the watch, and the watch is still running, so it's not in hacked seconds mode. 1 more click counterclockwise. Now I get the ability to advance the local hour. I can actually turn it in either direction. And here I can advance the date, though take note, I cannot reverse the date by this means. Now I'm setting my local time, but the watch is still running. It's not hacked. Now we're in stop seconds mode. Everything sets in coordinated fashion. This is how you set first the GMT, the 24-hour ring at center. So what you want to do, let's say it's 15:30. That's the remote time zone, the place where you are not. That's what you're keeping track of. Now I've set that. I'll set my local time zone, and I can set it to whatever I like, just like that. That's how you operate the ring command bezel system. And of course, when you're done, justify everything clockwise, screw the crown down. Inside, Rolex caliber 9001, automatic winding with a rotor borne on a ball bearing for greater shock tolerance. It's got a 70-hour power reserve, 4 Hz beat rate, 40 pivot joules. It has a free sprung balance for precise adjustment as well as toughness against shock. And for the same reason, toughness and resilience, it has a full dual anchored balance bridge. It uses a handmade Breguet overcoil hairspring. It is shaped by hand with the terminal curve allowing it to center its mass. So this watch keeps excellent time in every physical position. Of course, we've got the quick set functions bidirectionally as well as the hacking seconds. The hairspring alloy is niobium zirconium oxidized blue for protection. It is hugely anti-magnetic. The watch does have a movement COSC chronometer certified, but it goes beyond. As the entire cased up and assembled watch, that is the consumer product that you get, has been tested in 6 positions to run no worse than -2 + 2 seconds per day by Rolex. This watch really is the full package. And yes, Rolex even makes elements like the lubricants in the movement, the shock protection, Paraflex, as well as all the dial components. Rolex is a fully integrated manufacturer, making every part of the watch, including the chromolite blue lume. Reach out to Team Mosso at thewatchbox.com for purchase and pricing details.